From the far corners of the fandom universe, representing film, comics, and anime, sci-fi, fantasy, and cosplay, they come together for one cause: to geek out. They are the Council of the Blerds. Blerd powers unite. Engage.
I've already did my review, and I know, Harold, you did yours, but let's talk about the Snyder Cut. Let's just get it out the way right now.
Yes.
Again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Is it a perfect movie? No. No, it's not. Is it leaps and bounds better than the Whedon Cut? Absolutely it's better.
Yes.
Absolutely better. Now, did it need to be 4 hours? We probably could have shaved off a lot of things. Yeah. You know, not everything.
It still would have been 3 hours and 30 minutes, though.
See, I could deal with that because I mean, what Endgame was about around that time, 3 hours, 30 minutes Endgame. So, you know, like we could have stopped. We could have taken out some of the slow motion. You know, Aquaman didn't need an Icelandic chorus singing to him as he went away. I don't know what that was about.
You know what? I actually enjoyed that part. Actually, I actually did. I don't know why.
I mean, I'll take that over the constant Xena calls for Wonder Woman every time she showed up. You know, that was a little too much. That was a little too much. I'm like, really? Every time? She's just walking. She doesn't need to.
But you know what it is too? I think especially with Aquaman's part, I think it humanized them a little bit more than what the actual thing did. So I think what they were showing is that the relationship between him and the people was a lot different in the Snyder Cut than what it was in Whedon's cut. So basically, I think those little bits and pieces that they put in there were actually a little bit necessary. Actually,
it really did. I will say this movie did more for Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash than the Whedon cut did. It definitely did, because I will say, Cyborg definitely proved to be one of the best additions into the team and for this movie. Like his whole arc throughout the movie, while it could be troubling at some times, it was understandable, and it definitely fit in well with him being like almost the heart and soul of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A whole lot. It's a whole lot. Giving them backstories when they don't have their own movies did set a huge precedence for that, and I think it that changed the entire thought process of the movie for me. It
did,
because I was completely looking at it entirely different, same but different movie. Oh God.
I mean, because I've watched a lot of reviews, you know, on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube, even on TikTok, and you know, I guess it's a pretty divisive movie, because there's people who like are completely in love with the movie, and there's people who completely dismiss the movie. You know, a lot of people are saying it's practically the same movie. I'm like, yes and no.
Yeah, it's like
it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the rough story, but it's a completely different lens that we're seeing this movie in. Completely different lens.
And it's a lot darker than what we saw. So basically, we didn't try to make it very much Marvel-like, and that's a lot of the problem. What he did. So basically, we're looking at a totally different, darker tone, darker theme movie. When you're listening to people's backstories, they really hit home. I mean, when the Cyborg's dad, I forget his name.
Silas.
Yeah, when he killed himself.
Yeah.
I was almost in tears. I'm like,
yeah, that hurt.
That hurt. It really, I wasn't expecting that either, but I was like, oh my God, like now both of his parents are gone, and it's like, you know, it's like, and he's like literally like trying to come to terms with it. I mean, even understanding what his father did and why he did it, but it's like, and as a matter of fact, I even like the relationship between Silas and Victor in this movie than I did the Whedon cut.
Yeah.
Because it was still very much conflicted, but at the same time, you can tell like Cyborg, he's trying to like, much like in the comic books, and even in the animated, even in stuff animated, he's trying to a degree connect with his father. He's really trying to like find that connection with him, and then like before he really could, his father sacrifices himself for the team. He sacrifices himself for the league so they can do what they need to do. As a matter of fact, I think the scene, one of the dopest scenes to me, was when they're trying to evacuate, Star Labs. And Silas is on the phone like, this is a false alarm.
Nice.
And then he sees, he sees his son. He sees Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Aquaman, and he's like, negative, false alarm. Nobody come in, nobody go out. I was like,
that was nice.
Like that's how that's done. Like I even
that was sweet. That was sweet.
I even like the way Batman was handled in this.
Yes.
Like watching him in the Whedon, because I'm like, first of all, Batman doesn't make. That's not how Batman talks. He doesn't talk that way.
Right.
You know, like he wasn't like super serious in this, but at least he wasn't like a dope. So
yeah.
And like this was like kind of like a real kind of redemption arc for him after BVS. Even though at the end of BVS it was kind of forced, at least this one it kind of smoothed out a little bit more.
Right. They took all the dumb jokes too, man, and I appreciate that.
And it changed a lot of that music that was bothering me. Like
normally I'm a Danny Elfman fan, but he was not. He doesn't fit this universe. He doesn't.
Right.
So I'll agree. In the Whedon cut, the music threw me off too. I was like,
Yeah, it was like I said, that was definitely, and I had to take a break. Don't get me wrong. I took a break at the 2-hour mark.
We did too.
That. I'm like, this movie needs an intermission. I'm like, I'm sorry, it needs an intermission. I need like a 15-minute intermission between this to continue, because I got to a point where I was just so overwhelmed with I was like an overload, like a sensory overload of stuff that I haven't seen before. Like even like the initial scene with the bank and Wonder Woman and all. I'm like, hold on, wait a second. I'm like, but again, it shows her human side. So we're like things that were just cut out, that were just so simple, to just leave them in.
Right.
Even the battle on Themyscira for the Mother Box.
Yep.
This version was definitely better fleshed out than the previous one.
Yep. And the Martian Manhunter on top of that.
Introduced. That was a sweet surprise, actually, to me.
Like, I definitely, like, I told Tony, like, if this comes out on Blu-ray, I'll buy it. Even though it was on HBO Max, I will buy the Blu-ray of this, because that's how much I think it deserves to be on my shelf. Like, again, like, this movie I think this movie was definitely needed. Even if it wasn't just for Zach, it was definitely needed for us. And I know a lot of people. And don't get me wrong. This is one of our first episodes we talk about toxic fandom. It was one of our first episodes, people. There's toxicity in almost every fandom. There's a level, whatever the level is, that depends. But there's a toxicity to every fandom. Yes, some of the Snyder Cut fans, yes, they might be a bit toxic. But for the most part, I think most of us are just genuinely happy that we got this version of the movie.
Yeah, very.
And then we got the movies that could have been if, they kept with this version.
Right.
Like,
if we're up to me, I just tell Zack Snyder, like, dude, just deal with HBO Max. Deal with AT&T. Forget Warner Brothers. Forget them. Just deal with AT&T and HBO Max. Deal with them. Like, if we get, I'd even said, like, if we get, like, The Nightmare, like the Nightmare stuff, and we get that as like a series, I'll watch it.
Yeah, because that was. I'm gonna tell you something right now. And I wrote y'all as soon as I started watching the epilogue, as we put it. And I'm gonna tell you something. You want to talk about not having lube before that hit you? My mind was like, what did you just do? It's dry up here. Like, no, I don't like this.
Oh my gosh.
And I legitimately had to watch a whole epilogue like 3 times before it clicked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Because it came again. I wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't expected. I was not ready for this.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is what could have been if this movie was put out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, holy moly. I'm like, Batman, Joker, who was it? Deathstroke?
Deathstroke.
And I forget her name.
Mira.
Yeah.
Against Superman?
I would I literally I don't need a movie. Just give me a series of that. Give me a series of the Nightmare stuff. I'm good.
There it is.
Give me a series. Like give me like a I don't know, like a 4-part series, a 4-part miniseries of that. I'm straight. Let me just see that.
Because I'm like, I would be interested to see how that's gonna work out for them.
Exactly. But like, and I've seen videos and I've read up about what Justice League 2 and 3 were supposed to be about. I'm like even if we don't get like full-on movies, I'd love for full-on movies, don't get me wrong, but like even if we get like a series or something like that, like at least of those elements, like I think I'll be okay. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. No one really knows. The Restore the Snyderverse campaign is still going. And I know a lot of people are really, really pushing for it. Warner Brothers is being kind of dumb right now. And I can say that. I can honestly say that.
Because they're money they're money grabbing and they're money hungry, and that's all that matters to them. It's not, they'll destroy a franchise and then kill it and then just throw it away for another one. They don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, you can't make DC into Marvel. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
And the crazy thing, I think I said it, you said it, and I think there's been a lot of people that have been saying that from like the beginning. You can't copy the Marvel formula because that's what works for them. They pretty much created the formula. That's why it works for them. Like something like yes, we did get the Aquaman movie eventually, so that's pretty much like his movie, but the Cyborg movie canceled. We're still getting a Flash movie, but that's pretty much going to be more like a Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same.
At least the Snyder cut established those characters a little bit more with what we got than what we got with the Whedon cut. Because the Whedon cut, we just got these characters thrown in here. I'm like, we don't know nothing about these guys. Like at least this, like even Cyborg's origin, which was a full-on origin, by the way. It was a full-on origin about how he became who he was and stuff. So, like the villains, Steppenwolf looked way better. Way better in this.
And sounded better, actually, if you actually listened to him.
Because, like, in the Whedon cut, like, it's still the same voice actor, but in the Whedon cut, he was just sound like just generic bad guy. But in this one, it's like...
sounded rough.
Yes.
He had a motivation.
Yeah.
And as we all know, with bad guys, what makes a good villain is a good villain is that he is doing something that he feels is right, that he's on a mission to do something. Not like, I'm just going to take over the world. But, why are you taking over the world? What is the purpose of you taking over the world? And this particular situation is he really wants to impress Darkseid. He really, really wants to get in his good graces. And you know what's so sad is like now that I guess the CEO of Warner Brothers said like, oh, the Snyderverse is behind us now. We're moving forward. And I'm like, no,
give us Darkseid.
We're not going to see Superman fight Darkseid.
Give us Darkseid. That's what we need. Honestly, we need that leading up to that cut, because basically what it is that he comes back, he finds what he needs to find to destroy and kills Lois, and then we get our 4-part miniseries. Come on now, we need this to roll together. Come on,
Dwayne. I think I'm trying. I hope that I'm not. Oh God, I don't want to throw no nonsense, no false news or anything like that. But I believe that I might have read that Dwayne Johnson is kind of trying to be an ambassador or a liaison or a, hey, let's everybody sit down at the table. Let's keep the Snyderverse going. I'm getting ready to do Black Adam here. Let's bring everybody together. I really want to work with Henry Cavill. Have Black Adam versus Superman. I'll never forget that picture that was posted years ago. It was Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill sitting at the table, having a nice little drinky drink and everything. They looked like they were having a cool time. They looked like they were we're about ready to do something. We're two heads trying to come together, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to listen to the because Dwayne has a way of doing business and knows how to talk to people. And if anybody can restore what is potentially being thrown away by Warner Brothers, is Dwayne.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So for those of you guys who don't know, reports have been coming out that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he's been literally championing this whole thing, the Snyderverse, keeping Henry Cavill as Superman, all that stuff. He even went as far as to said he'll produce a proper Superman sequel. Okay. I say let him do it. He obviously has the money to do it. Let him do it. But
he single-handedly saved the Fast and the Furious franchise. He could do it again with the WB and DCU. Let him do.
Like I said, if anyone could do it, it would. If anyone should do it, it should be him, because again, he got casted as Black Adam back in 2014.
Yeah.
And this whole time, he's still been sued for it. Like they just started filming yesterday.
Yeah,
they just started filming for Black Adam yesterday. So you can't tell me he's not sued for this. So I hope whatever strings he can pull, he can pull, because his ex-wife is also still his talent agent. She's also the agent for Henry Cavill as well. So
whoa, see?
So there's definitely some things they can do behind the scenes to get that going. I really hope Dwayne Johnson, whatever strings he can pull, I hope he pulls it off, because I've been saying this for a long time. Henry Cavill needs a proper Superman sequel. He needs one. Josh, you were asking. My only question was if Darkseid forgot the anti-life equation, whatever it's called on Earth. He still has his destroyed armor on. Well, here's the thing, and a lot of people have been making this correction online. The Darkseid, even though Diana called him Darkseid when she was given the backstory, that was really his previous one before he became Darkseid. That was when he was Uxas, before he discovered the Omega effect, before he became Darkseid. That's why he didn't have the armor on him and stuff like that. So when we saw him in when Steppenwolf was talking to him, that's when he was Darkseid. Because think about it, if he was Darkseid then, you don't think he would have been using the Omega beams on these Jokers in that fight?
Right.
So when we got that scene where he killed, where we saw Diana dead, he killed Aquaman. He used the Omega beams under the water. That he was Darkseid then, but the backstory, he was Uxas. So he wasn't Darkseid just yet. Because think about it, you didn't see Desaad, you didn't even see Granny Goodness on the battlefield. It was just him. In fact, you didn't even see Steppenwolf at the time. It was just Uxas on the battlefield. So people will keep asking, how come Ares got that shot in on Darkseid? Well, because he was Uxas then. He didn't have armor at the time. And you got to remember, this was at a time where Ares was still super powered. He wasn't depowered after getting kicked out of Olympus just yet by Zeus. So he was still full powered. So I don't know. I really, after watching the Snyder cut, I really want this thing to continue. I want Justice League 2 and 3. The only thing I would say though, get rid of that mess about Lois's kid being Bruce's. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yeah. No, we don't need that. So for those of you guys who don't know, part of one of the story beats in the sequel to Justice League 2 and 3 was that Superman was going to pretty much put Bruce in charge of looking after her, and for some reason they have a one-night stand. So Lois is going to be pregnant with Bruce's kid instead of Clark's.
Wow.
To me, that's the only thing about that whole write-up that we could do without. Get rid of that. Because obviously we saw that in the Snyder Cut that Lois is, I guess she's pretty much pregnant. You know, like even when they're moving back into the Kent household, Lois is carrying a baby bassinet. And then somebody else on YouTube putting it out too that when Bruce and Clark were walking back to the house, he said, "Like, congratulations, by the way." So hopefully that's leading to us having that Clark and Lois are having a kid.
Yeah.
But like I want to see that. I want to see Darkseid, prepare the Armada, head to Earth. I want to see this. I want to see that stuff. I think one of the biggest things I enjoyed about this was that the fact that the Justice League loses first. They lose. And it's up to the Flash to save them. So I enjoyed that a great deal. So like after watching it, I'm very much looking forward to the Flashpoint movie to see how they do.
And it was so nice to see that scene that we saw in the original trailer way back when, before the Joss Whedon version of like, okay, the Flash was like zipping around in this room, but we never saw that scene in the theatrical cut, and didn't even know that he was actually zipping around an enemy. I think one of the Paradigms, I believe. That was when they all went to that big silo to save everybody.
Yeah.
And the Flash like zipped and then zipped around. And we saw that scene in the trailer, and apparently it was unfinished because he was actually zipping around a Parademon. Now we finally see the Parademon.
Yeah.
And and the cool thing the one thing that really made me excited about it before we all got to see it was that Zack Snyder said that there is not one thing in this version of the Justice League that he did not film. And that's the reason why I have to bring back, is it was so cool to not hear all those stupid jokes. Oh God, something's definitely bleeding. Or oh, I hear that you can talk to fish.
Yeah.
And then he turns his head like this, like, oh, that's so stupid. And that really, really cringy part of the Flash falling on top of Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Or actually body double Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because she wouldn't let him fall on her.
Yeah.
I think one of the other biggest things that I really enjoyed the fact that, like even when they were discussing the Mother Box, it's like everybody had input on the conversation. Like they like even though they were just forming, like y'all really sound like a whole team. And then it's like, and the fact that like they all agreed, with the exception of Aquaman, they all agreed that they should use the Mother Box to bring Superman back.
Yeah.
Like,
and even even the whole scene, even when they were bringing him back, how that felt different.
Yes.
That whole scene felt completely different. So it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and for people who haven't watched it, I would suggest, I know it's hard if you're working or anything like that, because I agree with that completely. I had to set aside 5 hours, not 4, 5, to watch this movie. So yeah, definitely get comfortable, take a look, because it's worth watching. If anything else is worth watching. But I'm going to put you on hold for a second. I got to get ice. I am in pain.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Take care of that for sure.
Just going to go through the comments real quick. I know, Josh, you brought up a couple things that we're going to try to touch on too. We'll talk about Wonder Woman 84. I don't think I did a review on Wonder Woman 84, but we could definitely touch on that. We'll definitely talk about the Powerpuff Girls live action series coming to CW.
Oh crap! Holy crap! Oh my God! And the pictures on that thing, my goodness! Wow.
I really hope that's temporary. I'm hoping that's some kind of like flashback or something that they're showing, because like for them to be wearing that as adults, I'm like, we can update the costumes a little bit. I appreciate the homage. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, but
they're
like in their 20s. Like like CW, you're better than this. Like let's get it together.
Well, CW has been like hit or miss with me because actually, like Superman and Lois as a show is actually pretty okay. It's pretty okay. I mean, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's starting to turn a little bit more CW-ish though, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not it's Superman and his son is Dawson from Dawson's Creek or anything like that. It's not that bad, but no, I like Dawson's Creek. That was cool. But it's CW, but it's not so CW. You know what I mean?
Like I really wonder how this would have fared if it was on HBO Max, like strictly an HBO Max series.
Oh yeah.
Cause like that first episode, I was impressed. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, very good first episode. Coming out the gate, that was badass.
They definitely put a lot of money into this. Definitely put a lot of money. Like right now, it's on hiatus. It'll be back in like May.
They totally took all the money from like Supergirl.
Yeah.
And Flash.
Yeah.
And put it toward this.
I mean, I will say this season of the Flash, we hanging in there because we've been lifelong Flash watchers. So
right.
Batwoman.
I hate to say I'm over Supergirl.
Yeah.
It pains me to say that because I love Supergirl.
I think this like 2 episodes in with Supergirl so far, and it's like, I mean, I struggled the last season. I'll tell you right now, I struggled towards the end of the last season. Actually, I struggled with that. I struggled with Black Lightning last season, and I struggled with Batwoman last season. But I kind of held in there because the season finale of Batwoman last year had me intrigued. But then Ruby Rose left, and then they recasted her, and right now,
but this season is atrocious.
Oh dear.
I mean,
oh dear. I don't know what's going on with Batwoman. Like, and like the fact that they just recasted Kate Kane, I'm like, why didn't y'all do that in the beginning of season 2? Like, what was the problem with that? Like,
and here's what I'm thinking, because what I think a lot of fans thought, a lot of viewers thought, is that this new Kate Kane was going to come back and become Batwoman, and they were going to take this Batwoman and remove her. I don't think that's the case. Like, Kate Kane is just coming back for whatever reason, but they're not going to take the role away from Sister Girl.
I'm trying to figure out how this is going to play out, because, like, yeah, she's back, but not like back just yet. So I'm like,
right.
What do you? I mean, it's already been greenlit for season 3, which is going to be his last season. It's already been greenlit. So like, are we going to have 2 Batwomen? Is Ryan Wilder going to turn into somebody else? Like, what? How is this supposed to work? Like, I don't understand. I mean,
maybe they might dip a little bit into the DC Comics like Future whatever, not Future Shock or Future State or anything like that, but there was a book or a series of books where there was a team of Batgirls. It was Lucius Fox's granddaughter or niece. And then you had like one of the former Robins who was blonde, and then there was a girl named Cassandra Cain, who at one time was Batgirl, and I think she was the Batgirl that had her entire face covered up.
Yeah,
I think
that was her.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. See, I read my comics, damn it. Sort of. I tried to stay current with the comics, but yeah, there was a team of Batgirls, and there could be 2 Batwomen. I don't know. I mean, Batwomen, Batgirl, but apples and oranges, potato. But there could be 2, or maybe they might make a new character, or maybe we might get the Batwoman and the sidekick, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
it would be kind of interesting to see.
As it stands right now, at least to me, the Arrowverse, the CW DC universe might be on its way to slowing down. I mean, they're clearly putting a lot of their money into Superman and Lois, which could end up being a very good season. I mean, like I said, I enjoy it so far. I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy a lot of story elements. I enjoy what's happening with it. You know, hopefully they clean up some of the sun elements at some point. Hopefully clean that up a little bit. But I'm enjoying that for right now. Flash, I've been a lifelong Flash fan. I'm sticking with it. But you know, this is Black Lightning's last season. I'm gonna see how they tie that up. This is Supergirl's last season. We're only watching to see how it ends, how they wrap that up. Batwoman, I don't know. I mean, we just watch it just to take up our nights and stuff, the things that we record and stuff. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, so far it's just Flash and Superman and Lois. Really, that's pretty much it to me.
You were watching Council of the Blerds, a Geekcast. The Council has spoken. End transmission.